Aloha, my friends. Mark J. Lindquist here. This is Fixing American Politics. America 2.0 is our movement. My name is Mark J. Lindquist, and welcome to the show. Okay, so what do we do here at America 2.0? If you're new to the show, thank you for joining us. I'm trying to change American politics, all right? I'm trying to start a movement of thought that would catch on in America, that would capture the attention and the imagination of the American citizens, and would help people to realize that Republicans and Democrats are not inevitable, and help people to realize that red versus blue, me versus you, is a political thinking of the past, and that we, in the next 250 years of the American experiment in democracy and self-governance, that we must figure out a different way to think about politics. Because, folks, I've posted a few things on my Facebook page. You can go find it. It's Mark J. Lindquist. And let me tell you, it is so rabid out there that the people who vote red or blue, they hate each other. And they think that the other is the source of their problems. Step back for a second and realize what's happening there. That means that American citizens, A, hate other American citizens. That's not a great deal. B, think that other American citizens are the source of their problems. In a nation with freedom, in a nation where you can do whatever the heck you want, in a nation where you can choose your own destiny, you are spending your time blaming somebody else for your problems? Are you kidding me? Now, do I agree that politics has gone off the rails and somebody's got to do something about it, and we should care about what's happening in politics because it is getting so ugly that we've got to fix it somehow? Yes, I do. And that's why I'm doing this, America 2.0, because I don't believe in Republicans. I don't believe in Democrats. I think they're both complete garbage. I think that if you think that Republicans and Democrats are the way forward and the solution to America's problems in the future, then I don't want you a part of this movement, because you should go contribute to your political party and continue thinking in an old and busted, clearly not effective framework of thought, which is partisanship. George Washington warned us 220 some years ago about the spirit of party. He was the wisest person in the whole country. We shouldn't have gone down the path of party. No, we should not. Now, does that mean that there doesn't need to be factions of thought? Of course there's going to be. Of course there's going to be ways that we organize ourselves. But organizing ourselves by left and right, liberal and conservative, right versus left, Democrat and Republican, is not working, is it? It's not working. These people, all they do is come up with a solution that 50 plus one agree with, right? That's a pretty low bar. I want to find people in America who challenge themselves, leaders in America who challenge themselves to come at this whole problem of self-governance. And how do we do it? And how do we provide solutions for us all? How do we keep the United States of America going? I want people to look at problems and say, there's got to be a way that we can come up with an 80% solution for this thing. Whatever the topic of the day is, whatever the policy that you're working on, I believe that it's possible to find leaders who say, you know what? If you give me 2 years, I'll find a solution that 80% of the people can agree upon, right? I mean, what? Here's an idea for you. Well, first of all, these idiots in Washington, oh my God. I mean, don't get me started on these idiots that we need to replace, and we need to move on from these 538 people and replace them all. Hey, 87% of them could be fired on November 2026. 435 representatives and 34 in the Senate. We could get rid of them all. They fly in to work noon or evening on Monday. Votes happen Tuesday through Thursday. They fly out Thursday night, Friday morning. These people are they don't live in Washington anymore. They don't work on behalf of you. They're living a cushy life. I want to fire all of them. What if we found leaders who on these committees, they set out at the beginning of their Congress, I don't know what we're on, 107th, 108th, 109th, 110th Congress, I can't remember. But on their 2-year period, let's say that we got Don't get all hung up on the name Sam Altman, but it's the one I keep thinking of. Brilliant guy. I think of Mark Cuban as well. Let's say we could get that caliber of person that was willing to take a sabbatical and work on a very specific set of problems in the United States government and fixing the system to make it work for the people. And what if their charge was, at the beginning of their 2-year sabbatical that they're working in Congress, that they would seek to find a solution that by the end of their 2 years that we could vote upon, that they think 80% of the people would say, yeah, that's absolutely the way to do it. Now, what if those Congress people then, on their own dime, and if you want to keep money in politics, well, then this is the way to do it, or the fundraising that they could make for their issue that they're campaigning upon, is that they went on a 2-year campaign around the country to convince people that their 80% solution was the way that we should adopt what they're proposing into law. And what if we saw that? Because I think campaigning is kind of fun. I mean, don't you love campaigns when it comes to presidential elections and the debates? I mean, I think it is interesting. I watch it with bated breath. These days, it's unwatchable because all they do is shout over each other. It's so not cool. But wouldn't it be fun if, let's just say one of the smartest people in the country, right? Let's not name a name. Let's just pick somebody brilliant who has proven to the country that they have a good problem-solving solution. Think about all the brilliant people that are out there on YouTube. What if some of these people who had hyper specialties that you saw on Joe Rogan or you saw on Lex Friedman or you saw on your favorite podcast, what if they gave a 2-year sabbatical? Chris Williamson comes to mind. Or, Steve Bartlett is maybe they're both British. Whatever. Your favorite American citizen. What if they gave a 2-year sabbatical? And I can think of Tristan Harris. He's the guy that I think used to work in the tech companies. He helped with the Social Network documentary on Netflix. He runs this great podcast. It is called, it's escaping me right now, but look up Tristan Harris's podcast. It's wonderful about technology. And he knows about social media. He was part of the pioneering gurus that built all these things. What if he were to take a 2-year sabbatical and serve in Congress on the Science and Technology Committee in Congress? And then there were policies that would really make sense for the people. And then he and his fellow committee members would try to come up with a solution that 80% of the country would agree upon. And then they went on a national tour. See, I'm getting back to the campaigning and politics and whatever. Wouldn't it be fun to follow that campaign around the country and see the town halls? They're not stump speeches. It would be town hall discussions. It would be podcast type formats. It would be, question and answers where in a civil way, Americans could get in a room and say, is this the 80% of us agree upon this solution? I mean, Tristan Harris is saying it. Obviously, these guys are smart, and gals too, of course. I thought of Tristan. And what if Sheryl Sandberg could campaign the country with Tristan? And then they would convince the country that this is the policy that the United States government needs to come up with for AI, let's say. Or, Jack Welch, I think he's dead now. The CEO, was he the CEO of General Motors? Whatever. What if Tim Cook, or gave a sabbatical and served on the committee? Hey, what if Timothy Snyder? I think he's an American citizen, right? What if Timothy Snyder, served, I don't know, on the Foreign Affairs Committee? My goodness, wouldn't that be great? And then what if he campaigned around the country convincing people of which policies that the United States of America should adopt and which laws that we should put into place? Because the whole goal and the whole reframing of American politics was your job in Washington, you 538 representatives, congresspeople, senators, and president, vice president, whatever, that your whole job is to come up with a solution that 80% of us agree upon. Wouldn't that be a refreshing way to do it? And now that then all of our jobs as American citizens is if you start off with, let's say we poll it at the beginning and it's 60% that say yes. Then everybody's job through likes and follows and shares and upvotes and whatever system we come up with, then we tried to make it 1% better every month. And at the end of 20 months, maybe you took it from 60 to 80% better than it was. And then when they vote in Congress, it's a big celebration because 80% of us agreed, yeah, this is the policy that we should adopt as a government. Because quite honestly, now, I mean, people are going to think that this is sacrilegious now, but when you think about how, because I ran for Congress and I thought through all this stuff and I thought it was all backwards. When you think about the fact that the 435 representatives in Congress and the 100 senators, that the framework is that you represent the people from your district. I think that is a little bit backwards because you're voting on things that affect the whole country. What I'm saying is we should be electing national representatives who understand the country from a national framework. Really, I guess what I'm presenting is a new framework of thought is that all 435 congresspeople and all 100 senators should not only represent the interests of their home district or state, that they should also campaign nationally. Of course, people in their state and people in their congressional district will probably still be the people to elect them and vote for them. But what if, with social media and different ways that we could categorize that and different issues that they're campaigning upon, what if the people in each congressional district, one of their jobs as good civic-minded voters, responsible voters, was to see if the rest of the country agrees on the stance they have on national issues? Do you see this? Do you see the distinction here? That since these people are going to vote on policy that affects the entire country, what if we were then to measure them by and their suitability for office on their ability to come up with solutions that 80% of the country agrees upon? Do you see? Okay, you see where I'm getting there? It's not just that you're going to find a solution that your little congressional district with 800,000 people agrees upon. I'm going to ask America to put people in office who are so compelling and so smart and so well-versed in their topic and so well-versed in their specialty that they would then be able to convince 80% of the country, not just the congressional district or the state they represent, that their solution is valid. And by the way, I think these congressmen and senators, congresspeople and senators, I mean, they sit on 6 or 8 or 4 or multiple committees of which they don't necessarily have expertise in. Why do we do that? I mean, there's 435 of them. What if we reframed the committee structure and didn't spread these people so thin, but instead worked on getting hyper specialized people like a Tristan Harris, like a Sheryl Sandberg, like a Timothy Snyder into these positions and put them to work on these committees? You know, maybe it's maybe Timothy Snyder sits on foreign relations, but he also sits on armed services, right? Those are interrelated. Maybe Tristan Harris and Sheryl Sandberg sit on science and technology policy, but they also sit on, I don't know, space or something, right? Yeah, there's got to be a better way to update the system. You see, this is what America 2.0 is. Like, I am just spitballing here. I mean, some of these ideas are coming to me as I'm speaking to the camera. And I'm not going to edit this. I'm just going to throw it up on YouTube for you to judge. But that's what kind of conversations that we all need to get involved in at our kitchen tables, in our text message threads, on Twitter. God, we got to clean up the bathroom wall of society, X, right? And we have to start having conversations about what could we do if we were the modern day founders of the United States of America for the next 250 years, which, by the way, we actually are. We could self-appoint ourselves as citizens to do that job. That's what I'm trying to start right here, is for you to self-appoint yourself, to appoint yourself as a founder, a future founder of the United States of America for the next 250 years in America 2.0. I want to give you that job right here, right? And so if you were to challenge yourself to come up with the best solution, if you were invited to, Constitutional Convention 2.0, what would be your contribution? These ideas that I'm throwing out, which, like Mark Zuckerberg says, ideas don't come out fully formed. As Jared and I, my business manager and I, we work on a scale of 1 to 10. I have 100 ideas a day, 10 maybe. And I throw them at Jared, and Jared says, that's like a 4, get rid of it. That's a 3, get rid of it. But if I come up with an idea that's a 5, that's worthy of maybe trying to make into a 6 or a 7, then we keep it in the hopper. Some of these ideas, as you talk with your friends, as we talk online, as we start getting these conversations rolling, some of them will be like, yeah, that idea has merit. And then inevitably, somebody's going to come along the line with a different perspective or more information, and then going to say, probably is not going to work because of this, this, and this. Well, then maybe that is an idea that we got to put on the shelf for later. But we need more and better ideas about how to restructure, reimagine, reinvent American politics, because the solutions that Republicans and Democrats are giving us right now are far inferior to the solutions that the average American person could do without a partisan hat on. It is possible. Don't tell me it's not possible that we can't get a movement of thought going on the internet that fixes American government. Look at the brilliance of American society and the human race. The problems in government and fixing it and making it work 10 times better is not an insurmountable, impossible problem. It is just not. You cannot convince me that people, if we sat them in a room and asked them to solve this problem, absent political motivation, absent political aspirations, absent ideology, you cannot tell me that we cannot come up with a better way to think about politics. Because what if, look, there's people on the internet who have 18 million followers and they have cat videos and fail army and people getting hit in the nuts. There's no way we can't start a movement of thought, non-ideological, non-partisan, non-politically motivated, with no political aspirations for ourselves. There's no way we can't start an account on the internet, or many of them that have multiple tens of millions of followers. There's just no way. That's my bar at America 2.0, is that in 2 and 4 years, if we don't have that, then somehow, some way, either I was completely wrong, which I'm always open to being wrong, or outside forces held us back. But until it is proven to me that the world won't, the powers that be, the Republicans and Democrats, that the CIA, that they won't let me do this, I'm doing it here. We need to fix this stuff. Look, the problems in American government the problems in the world are too big and too complicated, with AI coming, with Putin's nukes degrading, with Kim Jong-un out there, with Xi Jinping doing who knows what. The world is changing. And the idiots in Washington are not able to solve the problems at the level and speed and proficiency and bringing their expertise and doing it. They're not able to do it intelligently enough for the problems that we face. We need to get rid of all of them. I propose we get rid of 87% of them in 2026. I propose that we replace all of them, all 435 of them. I had this idea not too long ago. If it scares you to replace 87% of them in an election, because that would be like a complete pendulum swing in the wrong direction, let's find 538. Well, in this case, it would be 435 plus 33. So what is that math? Math is hard. Math is hard in public. 435, 45, 55, 65, 468, or 469. Let's find 468, 469 veterans that we all decide we trust and are vetted, and we know that we trust them. They've already pledged to support and defend the Constitution once. Let's find 468 or 69 of them to hold, like in Gladiator, when Maximus gives it to the Senate, to the power to hold in trust. What if we gave it to 469 veterans to hold in trust for 2 years? And settle everything down and have some really smart conversations about how do we rebuild America 2.0. That those veterans wouldn't be ones that stay in office, but in the interim, once we vote out 87% of these people, that they would hold the office in trust while America reorganizes our thought and we recondition our brain to think America 2.0. Instead of America 1.0, which is hyper-partisan, where Americans hate Americans. If you want to hold on to your political party, then you cannot be a part of the solution in the future. Because if you are so foolish as to think that this system works and should be maintained, then I don't think that you are of the intellectual capacity or level that we're looking for. Because clearly, if you look at Republicans and Democrats and the state of politics that they have given us today and the way that Washington is today, clearly they have failed us. It is Republicans and Democrats who have failed us. And we need to get rid of them. 87%, that's my favorite number from now on. America 2.0. We need to figure out how my generation and younger is going to reorganize American politics and government and the exercise of self-governance for the next 250 years. Because if we continue down the path that we're on, oh my goodness, we are not going to be the land of the free and the home of the brave for the next 250 years. It's America 2.0. So what do you got to do? First of all, if you like these videos, and I need help with social media. I'm not a short form, build a hook and edit and jump cuts and all this garbage. If you want to cut up these videos and put them online, I'm more than welcome to. Please, just, I don't care if you tag me. Just tell your friends about what we're doing. My name is Mark J. Lindquist. You can check me out. And I'm starting this thing called America 2.0 because I believe that our country and our politics needs an update. So I got to go. I've been drinking too much water. I got to pee. I'll see you tomorrow. It's America 2.0.